move on to public schools, taking everything we have lived and experienced and enriched with us to really live a new life. In some ways, it can be daunting and exciting, but the best way to hear it is from other alumni who transitioned not too long ago. I want to explore with this panel how Al-Hamra prepared them for life beyond 8th grade and how they overcame adversities and how they are doing today. I would let the alumni introduce themselves.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ezekiel. I'm a junior at Shrewsbury High School, and I went to Al-Hamra for 9 years.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Haris. I graduated Al-Hamra in 2013. Right now, I'm in almost done my third year in medical school.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mal Chaudhry. I just graduated from Al-Hamra in grade 9. And I've been in Al-Hamra from preschool to 8th grade.
Assalamualaikum everybody, my name is Seja. I have been at Al-Hamra since maybe the second day I was born, so about 20 years now. But right now I am in my third year at Suffolk University studying accounting. I don't know how we got there, but we're there. So yeah, I guess that's it. I graduated from Al-Hamra in 2018. I guess that's it for now.
So, to start with our first question, what are the ways in which you miss Al-Hamra the most?
I think the biggest thing for me was the close-knit community, having that sense of home, sense of belonging, safety, security, sense of unity, because mashallah, the school is so diverse, but we had that common denominator of all being Muslim. Also the sense of the freedom of expression, genuine expression. I never had to explain myself, my choices, my habits, my attire, my customs, my choice of words. I never had to explain my name. So that's like the biggest thing I miss. And another thing I didn't know I would miss as much, but I do realize how big it was now, was having that designated time slot in the school day for Islamic practices and knowledge. So religion class, Quran class, prayer in Jama'ah. It's not impossible in high school. Alhamdulillah, in Shrewsbury High School we have a place to pray, but it can be hard figuring out when, because mashallah, all my teachers use up every second of their class. So I never had that issue in Al-Hamra figuring out when and where to pray.
Yeah, so I'll probably agree with that. Personally, I miss the community the most, especially being in a community that emphasizes Islamic principles and gives you time every day to explore the deen and explore the Quran and learn more about Islam through an academic lens. That's something that I took for granted after I graduated, and really I didn't get to appreciate until I was in, I want to say, college, when you don't have that scheduled time every day to really engage with the Quran. You don't have that scheduled time to have a time to pray. You have to do all that yourself, and having that emphasis at such a young age to really engage with the Quran and really make sure that you take your responsibility as a Muslim and take that responsibility to pray on time and to do your due diligence at such a young age was such a big part of, I think, how I turned out to be, alhamdulillah. And I think that's what I miss most, is just that Islamic setting.
Brother Harris, do you think those perspectives carried on with you today and helped you become the person you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, especially I want to say during med school, I had like a little bit of a transition point where I really realized how much, how important it is to be close to Islam. And, as I explored Islam more throughout my kind of first 2 years of medical school, I was learning a lot, and I realized the reason I knew how to look for certain things was because of my experience at Al-Hamra. Because I had, the teachers who would tell me, okay, they would teach us how to explore things in an academic manner, and that carried on with me, even though I didn't really realize it. That those small little details that I learned in 5th grade, 6th grade really carried on with me, throughout my kind of life and now.
Thank you so much.
So one thing I missed the most in Al-Hamra was the time when we would have religion class. I've noticed that I took religion class for granted. It's like really the only time of day where I could learn more about my religion, learn more about the prophets, memorize more Quran. And in high school, you can get this opportunity, but it's pretty difficult. Alhamdulillah, we have a Muslim school club. We can pray at that time. We can, learn more about our religion. But I just really miss that time of day where you could just really connect with your religion. You can learn more about the prophets, memorize more Quran, and help me where I got today, becoming a better Muslim.
Okay, I don't like being last because that just got really hard for me. I thought I lived an original experience, but I guess not. I would say the first thing that I miss the most is having a designated time to eat lunch, because I don't have that anymore, and my mom gets mad when I come home and I haven't eaten all day. Anyways, but now that I have your attention again, I would say the thing that I really miss the most, I have to agree with everybody, is a sense of community. When people say that you get a unique experience at Al-Hamra, that's one word for it, but you get a second family. And I didn't even realize how much I missed it until this past week, where Sister Noor found me at the front door of Al-Hamra in torrential downpour, running away from a mouse that I found in my car on the way to school. But I guess in all my PTSD and horror that developed after that, the one thing that kind of stuck with me is dang, I kind of miss this feeling of being in a family and a community that even, what has it been, 2018 I graduated, now we're here almost in 2025, and I can still run there from a mouse if I need to. You're not gonna find that respectfully coming from Shrewsbury public schools, and you're not gonna find people who truly, truly care about you and support you every second of the day while you're in the building and when you're not, and years later, when they're at your wedding, all of that. So definitely something I miss. Grateful for the mouse for giving me that experience once again. Thank you, Chuck, for getting it out of my car.
Thank you so much.
How did attending Al-Hamra help you academically when you joined high school or college?
I want this one first. I said that. I'm not put that in this question. No, I would say, let me read what I wrote first. I genuinely believe that Al-Hamra was the foundation for the student that I am today, and that is both in high school and in college. Thankfully, I feel like when I think back to the kind of different people I was through each stage, I would say that now being in college, where I get the choice to learn what I want and be curious and all that stuff, I get to kind of resort back to the student that I was at Al-Hamra. And what that means is students who are pushed to strive for the best quality work. I even see that in, the assignments that I do in college, in my group presentations that I had to complete at the end of the semester. I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, how did I get this OCD when it comes to PowerPoint? And I thought back to Sister Samira's 4th grade class, where she had us do presentations about different states on PowerPoint. It was the first time I saw PowerPoint, but I had to make sure that that slideshow was top notch. And I still have that all those years later. And that kind of stuff, like they said in that first question, that's the foundation of who you are. Even in interviews, I'm over here interning at, big 4 firms who are asking me about what it's like to, be me or who I am. And when I think back to it, all that hard work and that motivation and that grit that I have is all genuinely from Al-Hamra. That's where it started off. So that should be every student's experience, whether they realize it or not. But parents know that that's what you're getting when you send your kids here to grow up and be raised by this family that we have.
So one way Al-Hamra has helped me is academically. Al-Hamra has been teaching you things you usually learn in high school. Most of the topics, most of the lessons we're learning about, I already know because thanks to the awesome teachers we have at Al-Hamra. I'm getting good grades, I'm passing all my tests, alhamdulillah. I really, really want to thank the teachers. You guys really supported me.
So I can talk about this from kind of two different perspectives. I'll start with the academic lens. Going into high school from Al-Hamra, I want to say that I was surprised how far ahead I was in terms of kind of my STEM courses. So math, biology, chemistry. I didn't expect it because in Al-Hamra I wasn't the very best student. I'll be honest. I would slack a lot. But when I got to high school, I noticed that a lot of the kind of emphasis on, trying harder in certain areas were ingrained in me from my Al-Hamra experience, and I took that with me to high school, and that allowed me to exceed in my STEM courses, and also gave me the time to then work on other aspects of my education that I wasn't so great at. So that was kind of how Al-Hamra prepared me academically. With regards to non-academically, I do want to point out that Al-Hamra also does a really good job of emphasizing participation in non-academic activities. So I want to say non-school related activities. So things like robotics, things like speech club, things like just taking part in any community related activities afterwards. I found that to be very important to learn at a younger age because when you don't have that ingrained in you when you're younger, it's hard to pick it up when you're in high school, and it's even harder to pick it up when you're older. So getting that sense of, hey, I want to be part of the community at a younger age and taking that with you to high school can really help. And it helped me to really kind of step out of my comfort zone and take part in the community.
I have to agree with everything that was said. Al-Hamra is definitely more academically advanced. I've been hearing it throughout my years in Al-Hamra, but when I actually got into high school, I did feel more confident in most of my classes because, a lot of my teachers really pushed us outside the textbooks, outside the curriculum, we learned so much. We also had an amazing interactive environment where we were encouraged to have in-depth conversations and just ask. We had more freedom to ask questions because we had like a smaller classroom, right? And because we had a smaller classroom, I think we had a really special student-to-teacher connection where teachers were able to give personalized attention to each of their students. And you don't have that in a private school setting. Public school settings. In public schools, you have teachers that have a huge number of students, and it's hard to account for each and every one of them and know them personally in and out. In Al-Hamra, you have teachers that know your strengths and your weaknesses and know exactly how to approach a certain roadblock. So academically, it really helped me that I had teachers that knew what I needed and how I needed it.
Thank you so much. How did Al-Hamra help supplement your Muslim identity and who you are today?
So Al-Hamra, I know it's always said, but you can never fully express how much of an impact it really has on a person. Al-Hamra plays a crucial role in nurturing a person's young, developing Muslim identity. especially in a world where a lot of people lack a sense of purpose in life. Al-Hamra has really made me realize how important having that sense of purpose is. So this school has not only taught me the basic Islamic principles and knowledge, but the why behind it, why we do what we do, and that's so much more important because now it allows me to fulfill my Islamic practices with sincerity and pure intention. And yeah.
So yeah, I said it earlier. I took for granted how important a role Alhamra played for me in my development as a Muslim. And one thing that I took for granted was just how much I learned passively by being around a Muslim community. And that's something that I took with me to high school, college, and now where I am, as a medical student. So every time I see a patient, I know that, hey, on my guest name tag, right, my first name is Muhammad. That's the first thing that I see. Automatically, I'm a representative for the Muslim community. And I think back on, how can I best be a representative for the Ummah in that regard. And Al-Hamra helped me with regards to not being afraid of my Muslim identity and not being afraid of, who I am as a Muslim and embracing that. And I do want to add, alhamdulillah, I just had a son, and recently, so now that I know what I know, I'm 100% going to be sending him to an Islamic school, inshallah. So that's kind of where I am with that. Alhamdulillah.
So one thing I was helping me with was with my Muslim identity. It has strengthened it. The jump from being such a huge Islamic community to like a community in believes in things which are not necessarily acceptable in Islam. It helped me strengthen my iman. It helped me, see what's right from wrong. It made me a better person overall. Because being the best Muslim is being the best person. You have the best characteristics, and you have the personality. So I just
So I'd say that a lot of people might argue that you're kind of sheltered at Al-Hamra. I would actually say quite the opposite. I would say that for once in your life, for once in your academic life, you are in a space where you are safe to be curious, to ask questions, to challenge yourself, to challenge others. And you don't really have to just kind of go with the status quo. You can kind of rock things up a little bit. But you're safe to do that because that's kind of part of learning is, experiencing, doing the things that you're afraid to do. And I'd say, to the students, don't take advantage of that. It might not really make 100% sense to you now, but, later on in your life is when you're you're going to continue to learn from Al-Hamra, from what you're never finished learning, I guess, from Al-Hamra. Because as you enter different phases in life, it makes sense. But I would say, as a Muslim, it built my confidence to think that 8-9 years ago, I was at the State House for something like Letters About Literature, and here I am, almost 10 years later, attending a university right across the street. That confidence that I had to get into the State House, to accept that award, to have that accomplishment is the same confidence that I try to channel as I go and, get these degrees and these accomplishments, in a more competitive space. So yeah, definitely confidence building. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So, due to us almost being out of time, we are going to shorten this down and end at 3 questions. But if you have any last words, you can just say it now.
I have something to add. So if you guys would do me the honor, I just want to take a moment. As you know, my mother is Sister Iman. Yeah. So unfortunately, due to her illness that many of you may know about, that she's been fighting for the past couple months, She's not present at this fundraiser today. We got her at home with my uncle, keeping her entertained. But she really, really wanted to be here. This is her first fundraiser that she's not attending. For those of you who do not know, my mother has been at Al-Hamra for 27 years. Can we get a round of applause for that? And I would say in relation to one of the first questions that was asked about how did Al-Hamra challenge me academically, I would say it's the same way that my mom challenged every one of your children. Because people may argue that my success at Al-Hamra or my love for Al-Hamra came because of my mother. That's not true. That love she instills into every one of her students. And I hope you know that when you send your kids here, when they get that quality education, that was not just for me. That treatment was not for me. If anything, she was harder on me. She was worse on me. She wanted to fail me at some point. But she cares 200% about your kids, and she is simply a representation of what it means to get an education at Al-Hamra. What it means to get an education is people who care more about your kids than what they're going to eat tonight for dinner, and that's a big deal. So, never feel like you're not getting enough from your experience here, because you're getting more than enough, you just don't know it. But she wanted to share something with all of you tonight. So this is from Sister Iman to all of you. Salam, my dear community. In the past few months of my illness, my entire family has learned so much about what a wonderful community we have, and not just at Al-Hamra. We've always known that the Worcester community was special and diverse and unique, but the outpouring love and support that we have received lately has been a blessing, alhamdulillah. Whether it's the 3 months of delicious home-cooked meals delivered to the house, or the flowers, gifts, cards, and notes from my beautiful students, to the du'ats of students led by 8th grade Friday khutbahs, I truly believe that it is because of the mercy of Allah and the du'ats of so many beautiful people in this community and in this room today that my healing process has been made easier, alhamdulillah. Al-Hamra Academy is an institution I truly believe in, and she does, and we all know this. One that not only educates students at a competitive level and provides them with a safe space, but teaches them how to grow a strong Muslim American identity so that they may be contributing leaders of our community and society at large. So today, I kindly ask each of you to please do what you can to help support this academy and community. May Allah put barakah in your families and in your health and in your iman and in your wealth, inshallah, ya Rab. And please keep me in your du'as for complete shifa so I may come back to Al-Hamra and continue my mission there, inshallah. So please. If you believe in my mom, and if you believe in her mission, then donate on behalf of her today. Keep her in your du'as always, and show her that this community is strong and she believes in it for a reason, okay? I didn't even know I was going to be part of the fundraising today, but I guess I knew. But anyways, continue to show love to each other and rely on each other and accept support from one another, because it's a very beautiful thing that we have in this community, so don't take advantage of it. And your students better not take advantage of your time at Al-Hamra, because I would trade anything for that right now. I'm sick of balance sheets and income statements, please. But anyways, I'm done. Please take this microphone.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Saja, for sharing those words from your mom. Thank you to all of the alumni.